Very good morning students. I am Mamraj Singh. In this video, I will explain you nominal and real GDP. Nominal GDP is a GDP evaluated at current market price. Means this is evaluated at current market. That is called nominal GDP. Therefore, nominal GDP will be include all of the changes in market price that have occurred during the current year due to the inflation or deflation. Right? Real gross domestic product is an inflation adjustment measure that reflects the value of all goods and services produced by an economy in given year, expressed in base year price and is often referred to constant price. Here is the nominal GDP is based on the current year market price and real GDP is based on the base year market price. Right? Here is the some concept of this. You understand? Nominal GDP, the market value of final productions of good and service within country in given period evaluated at a current market price. Means here is the current market price. The value of the final good production and service within country in a given period adjusted for price changes that may be have occurred over time. Means the base year, right? So we understand that GDP deflector. GDP deflector is measure of price level calculated as the ratio of nominal GDP to real GDP times into hundreds. Money means GDP deflector equal to the ratio of nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100. So you must understand it. GDP deflector ratio of real and nominal GDP. Real GDP, price indexes and inflation. Price index. A price index measures the average level of prices for some specific set of goods and services related to the price in specified base year. GDP deflector equal to 100 into nominal GDP into upon real GDP. Note that base year equal P equal to 100 given year, right? I have already explained you nominal GDP growth versus real GDP growth. GDP or gross domestic product is the value of all goods and services produced in country. The nominal gross domestic product measure the value of all goods and services produced expressed in current year. Real gross domestic produce measure the value of all goods and services produced or expressed in the price of some base year, right? You already explained is there some relation nominal GDP versus real GDP. GDP price index is given here, price of market basket in specific year, price of same market basket in the base year into 100. The real GDP nominal upon GDP upon price index in the 100th. As alternative method, price index in 100 equal to nominal GDP upon real GDP. So we have understand this all things. GDP and the welfare. The limitation of GDP is a useful indicator of nation's economic performance and is the most commonly used measure of well-being. However, it has some important limitations, including exclusion of non-market transactions. Thus, failure of account for represent that degree of income, right, inequality. The gross does not measure well-beings. These are the some. Here is depreciation, net income, going to foreign, regrettables, consumptions, happiness, genetics, families, friends, work, satisfaction, consumer. These are all the GDP measurement. Living conditions. These measure the living conditions, what kind of the environment, health, inequality, educations, economic well-being, leisures, wealth, non-market, unemployment. These are the GDP does not measure well-beings, right? GDP versus welfare. GDP measure the value of output only produced within domestic boundary of a country over year. Welfare is the health, happiness and fortune of a persons. A increase in real GDP means there is a sustained increase in the output of goods and services and growth in countries, right? Here you understand the difference between the welfare and GDP. The three limitations that are: it ignore the quality of life, it underestimate the informal markets, and overestimate the negative externalities, right? Here is the benefit of economic growth: higher the incomes, reduced poverty, better education, increased life expectancy, improved government finances. These are the benefit of economic growth, right? So you already understand it. Now students, thanks for watching this. Have a great day ahead. Like it, subscribe it.